was an exhibition.
Yeah.
There was the like obviously outside how big a moment it is. Not just for this.
You're right. It was a friendly game or an exhibition, and so at the end of the day, it doesn't mean much in the standings for where we're trying to get to. But it's a good win for us. I don't think any African team has been able to beat USA basketball in an exhibition game or a real game. And so to try to get a little bit of momentum, not just for our group, because our group has worked extremely hard over the last couple of weeks, but to try to get a little bit momentum for Nigeria, for the continent of Africa, because we feel like we represent more than just Nigerian, really for all of Black people around the world. I mean, to get that win and show that we can was a big moment for us. But more than that, I'm just happy for our guys because they have worked hard. They've worked extremely hard. And so to see some of that work pay off was, for me and the rest of the staff, was very gratifying.
Like, is American
Man, it's a great question. I don't think so. Because if you look at the pool of talent that USA basketball has to pull from or to draw from, no country can match it. And the reality of it is a lot of their talent, they just kind of throw together at the last second and say, go win it. And a lot of these other countries, they've been playing together since they were 14, 15, 16 years old. And so that has helped, in my opinion, a lot on the international stage. And we're trying to build a program like that. There's a really good young player out there, Mackenzie Mabako. He's 16. He's like the 5th ranked player in the country for 16-year-olds who's Nigerian in the US though, and he was at our camp and he was practicing. He didn't have contact, but he got invited to our camp for the Olympics, and he got to go through everything but contact stuff that all these guys did. And so for us to have the next generation come around and us to try to start building a youth program will only propel Nigeria basketball upwards quickly because the talent is there. The talent pool is real deep, and these guys all give their heart and soul to the program. And when that happens, and you start having youth programs that can play together and grow together, now you have a chance to compete with USA basketball and all that talent out there. But to try to do what they do year in and year out, I don't know if anybody else can do that, but they're capable because they're that good.
You mentioned how much this probably will be in the program. Have you already got set in the post game? The phone blowing up. What was locker room reaction?
Our guys, just like USA basketball, I'm sure that they feel the same way. We're excited about the win. The locker room was great, but our guys understand that we could play better. We didn't play our best. Just like I said, I know USA basketball 100% feels that way too. And so, having that feeling in the locker room, but knowing we can still play better, in my opinion, is we're right where we need to be able to get a win, knowing that we can still improve has been fantastic. But the phone is blowing up. Hopefully people will jump on the bandwagon a little bit more, and friends of Nigeria basketball, come to the website and support us in any way, shape, or form, because we need a lot of love. We need a lot of love.
I'm gonna call on Gabe for player perspective on the win.
The win was great. Like I said earlier in the media, it was everything we expected. We knew we could compete. We knew we could play well against a great team, and we showed that tonight. And like he said earlier, they didn't play their best basketball, and neither did we. So we're just looking forward to what's next. We understand it is an exhibition. We understand it's not our ultimate goal was to beat USA in this exhibition. It's to medal in Tokyo, and our eyes are still set on that.
I think it was 9-2-1 that came out with start of third quarter. You guys went down to the down line or something like that. How important was you guys? There was no panic. There was no nothing. Okay, that's what we're going to put on the pass on court. It's just like that.
I mean, to me, that was the most one of the most gratifying things of the game for me. We hadn't faced adversity yet. You know, we have a new group of guys together. We've been doing things different. Our scrimmage got canceled, and this is our first game against somebody else. And of anyone else, it's up against USA with, you know, great talent on the floor, great players making great plays. And we faced adversity and came together, most importantly, and overcame it and made our own run back.
Gabe, Joe Martin, but from a historical perspective, Nigeria has 2 Olympic basketball players. Kevin Durant is 39. At the same time, you guys have 7 or 8 guys who have NBA experience. So do you look at this win as a stunning, like once in a generation upset, or is it something that you expect?
It's the beginning. You know, I can't say we came into this game expecting to shoot extremely well from 3, to dominate the boards, but we did. You know, we competed every possession. We tried to win every possession, and we kept the game simple that way, and we came out on top tonight.
Chris Haynes, Down Sports, perhaps coach. I understand this is an exhibition, but a lot of times teams that play Team USA is usually as an audition time for players, coaches. So I wanted to ask from both perspectives, what was the buildup and leading to this game, knowing that you've been facing this team in the first exhibition as a player and as a coach?
I mean, for us, we just want to compete. We know what USA basketball means around the world and what they've stood for so long. And we wanted to compete and show that we could play with them. And we knew we were doing it for Nigeria, for the continent. And Caleb Agata had a great night. You talk about guys stepping up and having almost a coming out party. You know, that's a guy some of you guys might not have heard of before tonight. And it's a guy that we all know. We knew he could play, and he finally had the platform to do so. And, you know, so I was extremely excited for the way he performed, and I'm extremely excited for our team and the win.
Yeah, you know, the same. Our preparation wasn't any different. You know, we're going to prepare the same no matter who our opponent is. Every time we step on the floor, we're trying to just get a little bit better. And I can honestly say, we you know, since training camp started, every time we stepped on the floor, we got a little bit better. One day we didn't. Our first practice here wasn't too good, but it's okay because that's going to happen. But every time we stepped on the floor, our guys were engaged, they were locked in, and they knew what needed to be done to get a little bit better. And I told our guys, I said, when you play in tournaments like this, you don't have a lot of preparation time, and every game is like a final. And you know, it doesn't matter who is in the other color jersey in front of you. If you give effort and the group is connected, if the group is connected and they're trying to play for one another, you can win some ball games and win at a high level. And I felt our group was connected tonight. They've been connected every time we stepped on the floor for practice, and hopefully we'll continue because we're going to need that and some to do what we want to do in Tokyo.
Mike was obviously a huge hire. You know, how much reward was it for, you know, he was going to be the coach, and what have you seen from a player perspective about how the program has been run up to this point?
Yeah, I mean, Mike has been great so far. Like I mentioned earlier, we had a great camp, and I think that was a huge piece of it, bringing everyone together, identifying guys. And I think it was definitely alluring to other NBA guys to have a recognizable face, you know, someone that they knew, someone that they were familiar with, his background, his history, to come out and understand it'd be a different kind of experience for them. For me, I've represented Nigeria before, and I was excited just to have the opportunity to do it again. And also to have other guys come out and try to recruit, you know, as much as we could and put together the best team we could to represent our nation.
Like you guys are both at the of course, it's very legal. How much have you, in that point, of being pretty fit too at the grand scheme? How much have you guys gone over the nuances and how some of these aren't really nuances, how some of these rules are very,
I mean, my staff is unbelievable. You know, Alex Norris still on board. Jordy Fernandez from the Nuggets is fantastic. Luke Laux, who's with us in Golden State's great. James Laughlin, who's with us in Golden State's fantastic. Mufano Dofia, who's with the Atlanta Hawks G League team. But I'm going to have to give credit to Sammy Gelfand. Sammy Gelfand is the analytics coach for the Detroit Pistons. He's been the one responsible for teaching us, including myself, about international rules. And we actually went over it. He found tape of guys goaltending, stuff like that. And we had one of those in practice by Mike Benajay, and we showed, the team that just yesterday, I think, but led by Sammy Gelfand, really emphasizing the international rules from putting the ball on the floor before you take a step to trying to goaltend, to trying to foul the right way in the backcourt. Our guys have picked up on it quickly. They had a great feel for it, but again, I don't know who got the goaltend, but I'm gonna give credit to Sammy Gelfand of the Detroit Pistons. It was Chemezi? Okay. Yeah, so a case, Sammy's gonna get stolen after this because better pay him.
Michael, did I take you off the press conference saying something to the effect of fishing game doesn't count towards the goal? But you've won finals games with the Warriors.
Yeah.
Where does this win rank for you in your career, NBA career?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. I know it was a lot of fun. It's extremely enjoyable to do something that's never been done before. But I tell you, I know what the hardest game ever was that I had to coach, and that was taking over for Steve in Portland on the road in Game 3 when he was sick. He told me the night before that I was going to take over. KD wasn't playing, Sean Livingston wasn't playing, and a couple other guys. I've never been so scared in my life, And all the players, starting with Andre Iguodala, basically put me on their backs and said, "Hey, we're going to help you get this win, Mike." And so we did. But getting that win, that was extremely gratifying. That was a lot of fun because we were down 17 at one time. That probably has to rank up there for me. But this, obviously, knowing how impactful it can be, like I said, not just to our program, but to the country of Nigeria, and more importantly, to the continent of Africa, to let people know that, hey, there's some talent there. And if it's organized and funded the right way, the sky's the limit. So to be able to move the needle for millions of people, hopefully, is extremely gratifying.
I know you played by Vincent in Miami, of course.
Yeah.
Are you going to stick with your?
I use that name when I'm representing Nigeria. When I went back home and I introduced myself to somebody as Gabe, they said, "What is your name?" I said, "Oh, it's Vincent." What is your name? Gabe Vincent. So, and they looked at me crazy and said, "No, what is your name?" And I said, "Namdi." They said, "Okay, nice to meet you." So I took that as, that's very much part of my culture. And when I do put on that uniform and have Nigeria across my chest, I put that name on the back because that's how my people back home recognize me.
I know when you're playing, hearing your name announced that way, many times.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. It's almost like an alter ego of sorts. It's just, you just come like I'm a different person at times, but it's fun, man. And just to represent a nation, represent my people, and to do it with my name and just another step of it, it's very important to me.
All right, we got time for Colin with ESPN Africa.
Hi, Coach. I got a question for you and for Gabe. Look, I know you can hear the excitement in my voice, so I'm just going to start with Gabe. This is, a historic result for Nigeria. So, as someone who's been in the program for so long, what does this mean for you as a player and as a team, especially in light of that blowout loss that happened in London, the last Olympics, when we lost to the USA 176-75?
It means a lot. Let's not say that number again. Let's just say the number of tonight's score to kind of just get back for that game. Coming into tonight, there was a lot of doubt put on us, a lot of expectations for us to get blown out, for the game to get out of hand early. And if anything, that just put a chip on our shoulder, bigger than we already had. So it meant a lot, mostly because I know how much it meant to the guys that have played and worn the same uniform I'm wearing before me. And the people that remember those days and remember that game, and how much it hurt them to see us lose that way. And so I'm just glad we can go out there, compete, and put on a great game and come out with the victory.
Okay. And just in the run to the last Olympics, we had the same sort of situation. We beat Argentina in an exhibition game and then lost to them by 20. So how do you enjoy this result for what it is, the history that it is, and the good feeling, but still maintain the focus, going into the Olympics?
I mean, you have to enjoy small victories too. Little things, little goals that you set along the way. But like I mentioned before, our main goal is to be on the podium in Tokyo. And this was just a stepping stone to get to that point. And like Coach Brown mentioned earlier, we want to get a little bit better each day. And today we got better. It wasn't perfect, but we faced adversity that we hadn't faced before. We came together, we overcame it, and we've shown what we could do when we come together and play for one another.
And Coach, this one goes to you. A win like this against the #1 ranked team in the world, you think this, I mean, it puts the world on notice. So do you think this puts a target on your back right now, or you and your team?
I don't know. I don't know if we have a target on our back, but I do know that we feel like we're a pretty good group, and we feel like we can win at a pretty high level if we do what we're supposed to do. And so, like you said earlier, it doesn't matter who's in front of us. We're going to go play our game. And if we play our game, we'll be able to win a lot of games. So that's what I'm excited about more than anything else. We don't really care what other countries or what other teams think. We just have to focus on how can we continue to get better, and how can we continue to play for one another.
And Coach, I mean, I've been talking to a lot of people in Nigeria. People stayed up till this is what, like 2 a.m., 4 a.m. back home. And there is a lot, I can tell you there's a lot of excitement back home in Nigeria. My WhatsApp has been blowing up, and I'm sure yours will be blowing up too. So now the expectation is really high. You've talked about winning a medal going into the Olympic Games. With all the excitement you're building up now, do you still think that maybe you've set the bar a bit too high for yourself?
It's no different. We're approaching this the same way. It's great that we're starting to get some support out there, because that's what we want. We want people to get excited. I said this in the beginning to our guys. Hey, this is about us going out and playing the best basketball we can. And if we do, we're going to give ourselves a chance to be on the podium at the end of the day. That's what our goal is. But while doing that, we're going to uplift a lot of people out there. And so if the excitement is huge in Nigeria right now, fantastic. We want that to happen, because we want people all around the world, because there's a lot of diaspora everywhere of Nigerian descent. We want that excitement to show and flourish at an extremely high level. And hopefully they'll be behind us, not just tonight, but throughout our Olympic run.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Gabe.